Hey everybody, I hope and pray that you're doing well. Today as we come to our word from the Word. And today that word is collateral. Collateral. Now that may seem like an odd word for us to use, but as we're going through Deuteronomy chapter 24, you're going to see a lot of different miscellaneous laws again, just like we looked at yesterday, and we see different ones throughout these chapters. So as always, I encourage you to read them all so you can see what's going on. So there's some here dealing with divorce, and Jesus addresses that later himself. Then you find out that there's some even not just the divorce itself, but dealing with remarriage and how that would look. Then you have just various things going in there, even with skin disease. And you'll notice that several times in here it says, "Remember, remember." Remember the things that happened before. Remember you used to be a slave. So making sure you treat people right. And specifically in part of this, and that's what we'll look at today, is the collateral that people would try to take. And so if somebody said they were going to pay for something and or borrow something, whatever, you know how it is. You take, well, I'll hold on to this, and almost like a pawn shop, right? Well, I'll hold on to this. I give you some money. You come back and we'll swap it back out. So the whole idea behind everything here is caring for those in need. So just because they have a need doesn't mean that those who have can take advantage of it. Now we know good and well in this world, in our day and time, people take advantage of the needy all the time. And they throw interest rates through the roof. Say, well, yeah, I'll let you borrow some money, but man, we're going to charge you exponentially more than anybody else. And that's just an example, probably a poor example, but you kind of get the idea. Well, the care that God wants his people to have for each other, he gives them specific instructions, and they may seem strange on the surface, but they make so much sense after you dig down into it. So let's just look at one verse today. Deuteronomy chapter 24, look at verse 6. It says, "No man shall take the lower or the upper millstone in pledge, for he takes one's living in pledge." So what he's saying is, and this goes on later on in the chapter too, you can see some other dealings with kind of collateral or debt collection and security and pledges. You see those words used here. And he says not even to go into the house, right, of the one that owes you. Let him be the one that comes out and initiates the repayment. And it's something that you won't go in and offend your neighbor, and you won't be almost even to go along with those 10 commandments, that you're not giving false accusations against that one that owes you, saying, oh, he's not going to pay, I've got to go in here and get it. But along with that, even in this, you say, well, what's a millstone got to do with it? And he says, wait a minute, you're taking his life as a pledge? Well, the whole point is you think about what millstones did. Well, they come in a pair, and you take the two of them together, and that's how they would grind up their grain, which is how they would make bread. It's just how they would eat and survive. And what good is a pair of millstones? He says not even the upper one, right? So what good is a pair of millstones if you don't even have the top one? And so he says, look, you can't ask for that as security. You can't accept that as security, because you would be affecting their livelihood. There's other things in here that talks about not even, the clothes that you give them. Don't sleep in their clothes. The ones that would keep them warm, you don't sleep in those. Give those back to them. And I think through all of this, what we can take is, and I know I use the word collateral today, just kind of summing up what this is all talking about. But the heart behind it all is, like yesterday, we were talking about being careful with your words. It's also be careful in your giving, but be careful in the way that you treat others. Throughout this, too, you will see that, well, if you do wrong, then God will judge you. It's something to say that, well, hey, if I'm dealing with you some sort of way, and to say, okay, well, then I'm going to have to go deal with the courts or the legal system. That God says, no, you're not going to have to worry about them. You're going to deal with me. And I don't know about you, but I don't know what kind of collateral the Lord would be requiring at that time. I don't know what he would be requiring from us if we disobeyed his law and then didn't do the things and take care of others as he called us to do. Today, at the heart of this, I would just ask you to reflect and say, are you, in all the things that you do, maybe your daily dealings with people, even business aspects, even loaning, borrowing money yourself and paying it back, and even maybe lending to others, are you doing it in the right frame of mind? Are you doing it with the right heart? Are you doing it with the sense of help and assistance and with love and kindness and mercy? Or are you doing so with arrogance and pride and then having no regard for another's life? And today, I would just be thankful that the Lord doesn't require collateral from us. God bless you, and I pray you have a great, great day.